You're very welcome back now. It's the highly anticipated release that everyone has been waiting for all year. Yes, the 2025 edition of the Irish Farmers Calendar has arrived, and today we're joined by some of the brave men who take part, all for a very good cause, of course.
We're delighted to welcome Maurice Fitzgibbon, a.k.a. Mr. January, and Brendan Fanning, who, of course, is Mr. April. Thank you both so much for joining us on the show today. We have to...
Yes,
it's not just the two, we have a third very special guest here today. Please introduce us to our feathered friend.
This is Peggy. She's been on the face of a few calendars this year, so
that's
I think
Peggy's bottom there.
Peggy,
she might turn around and shows the rest.
She has
currently, she's Ireland's most famous hen, so she's...
she's lovely, because she's TikTok famous.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah.
Like 40,000 followers there, so...
Jeannie Mac, that's a fair amount. No, first of all, Maurice, we'll go to you. Tell us how you became involved in the calendar, because this is not your first rodeo.
No, it's not my first rodeo. I was here with yourselves back in 2019, and that was when the calendar was giving proceeds to Boher. And this time round, then Sean had contacted me asking would I get involved again. And I said I would, especially when I heard that Embrace Farm Ireland were getting the proceeds of the calendar. I said that was something I really wanted to get involved with. So Embrace is a charity that helps, say, people who've had accidents and bereavements on farms, supports the family in the months after. So
yeah, it's
quite an important cause, like, you know.
Absolutely. Oh, there you are yourself.
There you are.
Now.
They're your sheep.
Are they your dogs?
No, they're not my dogs. They were the dogs on Windrush Farm. So Lucy and Sophie gave me a few training tips, and we got the dogs to pose for a camera.
You know, well, you're
gazing adoringly.
They are.
Plenty of biscuits.
What sort of farming do you do?
So I'd be a small beef and suckler farmer in Tip, and then I'm a full-time tyre fitter outside of that.
Okay. Yeah. And Brendan, what about yourself? Now, I know this isn't also your first experience with photo shoots and calendars. You're actually global with this. You do American calendars.
There was a couple of calendars in America, yeah, literally just before, the week before. Sean asked me to come down to Windrush Farm, so... Obviously, I couldn't let the Irish side down and had to come down and take part.
And is that how you got picked to do this one as well? They spotted you doing the other ones?
I think as far as I know, Sean has spotted me, so yeah, got me involved.
Okay.
So,
and what kind of farming do you do?
It's just kind of I'm a carpenter by trade, but I have a few hens at the minute, so with the few options going forward for next year, so big plans.
Why hens?
Why hens?
I know they're we used to have hens growing up, and they're fairly easy to mind, but is that because...
It's just something like from being up with my nana when I was young. I used to be fascinated by the hens, and going up when I was younger every summer. I used to go around collecting the eggs and messing about, and just was something I'd done. So she always had a hen called Peggy, so I carried her on through.
Are they good company?
They are, yeah. They're great company. They can be. Like, she'll come to me when I call her name. She'll do whatever. Like, they're a clever little bird, yeah.
Aw, Peggy.
No, it's not working.
She's too hungry. I didn't feed her there for obvious reasons.
Listen,
yes,
we've had worse in the studio
we have.
that sort of accident. But when it comes to getting involved in a shoot like this, were you up for it? Were you all for it, or were you a bit reserved and embarrassed? Because I think you're the cover guy, aren't you?
Yeah, cover. It was funny. It always it's like kind of nearly my worst nightmare. But it's just something I said I'd meet head on, and three of them came into one go. So look, we went down and we done it. And I mean, I went down to the lads. I never forget, I arrived, jumped out of the van, and I'm like, what's going on here? There's a lad standing in the field doing a handstand with long blonde hair with a black horse beside him, and then... But I'm like, you're under pressure here. Maurice was doing press-ups in the corner. And then there's two boys in the wood, one with a chainsaw, and then I think it was... the other lad was cutting logs now. You wouldn't be relying on him to keep you warm for the winter, but...
Oh, God. All right. We won't tell him you said that.
James, no, we won't know.
So there was a lot of animals involved in this shoot. How was it? How did they behave? Were they posing?
They say never work with children or animals.
Yeah, but actually, look, you're dealing with farmers. We're dealing with animals every day of our lives, so... You know, it comes natural to us, and particularly Brendan, as Brendan mentioned, Brendan had the chicken, the other Brendan had the horse to do his pose, and I had the dogs, and I suppose I'd be a great lover of dogs, so it comes naturally to you, you know. Okay.
And did you get much of a slagging because of this? Because I know...
Of course you're going to get slagging. Look, that's Irish humour, that's Irish mentality, you know. But I think a lot of guys out there can appreciate that, you know, we're all just regular, everyday guys, we're working guys. You know, the average working man looks like that in a pair of work pants, and that's the reality. So,
and you're also doing it for an amazing cause. But Maurice, you're also the sponsor of this year's calendar. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so my business is the Long Acre Enterprises, and I have a website online that I sell beef direct off the farm, and then I sell the likes of merchandise, hoodies and bits and bobs like that. So,
so directly, there's no middleman there?
There's no middleman, and, you know, between, I suppose, myself as the sponsor, Embrace as the charity, you know, you're keeping it all in the community, you're keeping the fact that it's all representing Irish farming in a reality sense, you know.
Yeah, and the charity is so important. I think
massive.
people don't realise actually how how dangerous it can be sometimes, and if something does happen, the devastation it leaves behind.
Yeah, but you know, it's not like another business in a lot of terms that if somebody dies on a farm, there's a lot of animals have to be tended for. There's succession planning. There's a lot of things have to go on, and Embrace help people move through that process after.
Yeah.
So this calendar is now viral all over the world. I heard you have fans in the States, over Europe, Australia, Japan. Do you have many people coming up to you or coming after you because of it?
Yeah, you'll get some interesting messages, Brendan. Wouldn't that be fair to say?
Oh, come on! Tell us the
My lips are sealed. I am saying nothing.
Bear in mind, it's early in the morning.
No, will they?
Whether it's from lads or women, but
you're in demand. It's safe to say you're in demand.
You get used to it, you know, and you have to get accustomed.
But is it a bit weird, though, to have that sort of fame that you wouldn't experience? Like, people see the calendars. How do they find you?
Yeah, kind of all of a sudden, yeah, like from a small little chicken hobby farm to literally being broadcasting calendars half naked all over the world. It's like, what's going on? Like, you know, I'm still sitting here, what's going on? I'm sitting on TV with me chicken. So, like, I just don't know where to look.
It's a bit surreal, but we're getting there, aren't we, Brendan?
Yeah, we're surviving just about.
Well, look, they're competing with the likes of One Direction and those kind of big, huge bands with their calendars, you know? Like, you're up there with the rest.
Working lads. Women have no interest in them lads.
Do you know what? You're not far wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Grand Irish. Sure, look at what's happening with the likes of Paul Mescal, former GA player and everything. It's the Irish lads are the creme de la creme when it comes to women across the globe now, and men, of course. Now, we need to go back to the superstar. Not that there's anything wrong with the two of you,
Peggy.
but Peggy. Now, tell us, what do you have to do with Peggy for the videos? Like, is she very biddable?
Well, we've got a lot of viral videos of Peggy and the girls, which are all her hands. So I do different heart shapes and I can write out different words. We've got involved in a few different chicken wars on TikTok, etc.
Chicken wars?
That's one video there that got like 4.5 million views. And
oh my God, they're so cute.
I mean, there was 10,000 comments saying that how much you love the video.
Oh my God.
But it takes a lot of work.
How do you get them to you just put
feed on the ground, and then we've done any amount of shapes, words, etc. People have asked me could you write the words for people's birthday.
Fox.
Yeah,
Fox do the love hearts. There's a lot of them. So
it's adorable.
It's something different and unique. I haven't seen it anywhere else. So trying to make it different for everyone, you know.
I've actually seen those videos and I didn't realise it was you. That's amazing. That's deadly. Yeah.
How many have you?
2 at the minute.
Just you borrowed the rest of them.
I have big plans for next year, so just taking a little break and we've big plans. Lucky enough to be able to go through with them next year, see what happens.
Oh, listen, thanks so much for coming in, lads. I know you take time out of your busy week to help us plug this fantastic calendar, of course, for an absolutely brilliant cause. Maurice, Brendan, and of course
Peggy.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
I thought she'd lay us her breakfast now at the moment, but sure, maybe next time. Anyway, a reminder that the 2025 Irish Farmers Calendar is now available at farmercalendar.com and in Calendar Club stores across Ireland.